Zaya, of course, with a grin on her face every time she talks about Toledo. And speaking of the 419, two people there very close to her heart, mom and dad, Michelle and Stratum. If you've ever been to a Rogers game, you've seen her dad sit at half court just in case he ever needs to coach his daughter up. He was always her #1 coach. And this week, all culminating into the McDonald's All-American game. But it started when Zaya was 6 years old playing football with her brother.
Well, my son, he came to me probably when Zaya was about 6, and he was telling me that Zaya was doing certain things with the ball that I needed to see. So he would have her with him training outside in the yard, running with the parachute on, throwing footballs back and forth with him to get him prepared for playing football. And then she would go to the Y with him. So when they were at the Y, he said, while I'm doing my little training in the Y, Zaya will be doing things with a basketball. He's thinking just messing around. But he's like, Dad, the stuff she does is amazing with a basketball for her, never had touch on. So one day, he kept calling. I was at work and he just kept calling. Like, Dad, you gotta come up here. So I went up there and Zaya we call it the move now, because we actually train that same exact move she first did. She goes between her legs, she does a spin move, she comes up with the ball fake on this side of the rim and finishes on this side of the rim. Now she missed the layup, but her even being able to do that move, it was just like, for her never to touch the basketball, I knew it was a certain gift in her for the sport. Her brother, they're 5 years apart, so he was 12-ish, yeah, 11, 12-ish. But he was playing for like the Mid-City Colts, and which is a city league football, tackle football. And then I know that her mom was really against the football thing, but Zaya kept pushing it. And my son, he kept pushing it. Stratman kept pushing and pushing it until she all of a sudden allowed it.
Yeah.
I
was told. Yeah, I finally gave in. I was totally against it, but that's something she wanted to do, so I let her do it, and it turned out to be a great thing.
So much swagger on the court from Zaya. Where does she get that from?
She gets it a little from both of us, I would say. Yeah.
And from her brother. They both are just so emotional when it comes to the sport. I remember Natasha Adair, which was the head coach for Georgetown University. She said that when she first saw Zaya, she said, that is a girl, Allen Iverson. And she said, but I want you guys to understand why I'm saying that. She said, because you're gonna learn as Zaya grows that her skills are based on the emotion. Like when Zaya's in a good place emotionally, like that's why it's things like the McDonald's All-American game, you see the best of Zaya Cooke.
Going back to the football days, you bought Zaya Wonder Woman socks and capes to wear in football. Now looking back, seeing who she's grown into, how much did those Wonder Woman socks and capes foreshadow who she would become at this point?
I think it was something that should have happened. I mean, because it did make her who she is today, because she was that female on the team, and I wanted her to stand out and show that she was a girl. And even though you're a girl, you can still, be as tough as a boy. So I don't know. I think it made her who she is today. Made her tough and gave her that swag.
Who would have thought? Playing basketball, football with your brother, and then wearing Wonder Woman capes and socks would get you to the McDonald's All-American game, but that's exactly what it did for Zaya Cooke.